Ooh, welcome to Tennis Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is March the 3rd, 2026. We're getting closer for 2K26. We got little updates of 2K26 because, ladies and gentlemen, we found out who's going to be on the ringside pass number 2. It's going to be the Demolition. My thing wasn't even open. And yes, I'm drinking a whole carton of chocolate milk. Axe Smash and Crush will be in 2K26. I thought they would never be in it because last year I don't think anyone from the Hall of Fame was in the 2K25. But now we get Demolition. We got a whole bunch of AAA guys. We still need to know who's on the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th. DLC. We don't know when they're coming out. We do know the Ringside Pass number 2 is coming out before WrestleMania, so somewhere in April. We know the first one, March 6th, will be happening March 6th, the first DLC, and the rest of the pre-orders and part of the additions, the King Kings and the Monday Night War, and the Monday Night Attitude Era. I said Monday Night War already. Those are all happening on March 6th, so yeah, that's going to be interesting, and we will find out what's the next ones. They did say, trying to give us a hint, who will be the next person, will be part of the Ringside Pass, and they said she. So it's a girl that will be joining the Demolition. Remember, there's 4 people in every pack, but right now there's only 3 in the season number 2. And that's the Demolition. They're in there. That's pretty cool. More people for my old school show. I can't wait. When is the last time Demolition been in the game? Was it W12 or 13? I don't remember. One of those. I know it was one of those. I'm just excited to play the game. It's coming up big. I got the burps. It's coming up very soon. We have a couple of days left until the game comes out on Friday. It sucks we have to wait until Friday. The end of the week. When people want to do things on the weekend, but they're going to be playing their game. Oh boy. But ladies and gentlemen, we got Monday Night Raw here because everything is getting personal for WWE's WrestleMania. Well, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Lee comes out. And she wants to be a fighting champion like her husband. She doesn't want to wait until WrestleMania. She says, the next time I come out here, I'm defending the Intercontinental Championship. So a whole bunch of women is going to Adam Pearce and asking for a shot at the Intercontinental title. Bayley, Io Sky, Laura Bakira, Raquel Rodriguez, Ivy, Niall. And we will have a 5-women gauntlet match next week to determine the number 1 contender to the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Is that for WrestleMania or before WrestleMania? I don't know. Adam Pearce did not know. Well, Adam Pearce did had his first meeting with Danhausen. Danhausen has some demands. He has some demands. He wants a blimp. He wants an assistant. He wants his own cameraman. He wants that picture from Triple H. That famous picture when Triple H points somebody new or a new champion. We saw, I can't tell you guys that because I need to get to the match. But yeah, Danhausen wants that. And then Danhausen cursed his first victim. And it was Dominic Mysterio. Because Adam Pearce is getting really tired of Danhausen. So he made Judgment Day meet Danhausen. And Danhausen wants the championship. He wants the Intercontinental title, but Dominic said, no, this is the only way you're going to get close to the championship by talking to me. So and he says, how about you go before something bad happens? And Danhausen says, something bad happens to me, you are cursed. Dominic was the first one to be cursed by Danhausen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Rusev comes out and he issued a challenge to Obafemi to a fight. Obafemi goes in the ring and he wants to fight. We had a brawl between Obafemi and Rusev. These guys destroy each other. It wasn't even a match. They destroy each other. And ladies and gentlemen, we heard that next week. It's official. Obafemi versus Rusev. But where will Danhausen and Obafemi sign to? Raw or SmackDown? There's no point for me to download Danhausen on 2K25. I might do that on 2K26 if he's not on the DLC. There's no point of downloading him if he's on the DLC. Whoever's on the DLCs, I never download. I wait until it comes out. So if Royce Keys is on the DLC, I won't download him. I had a great faction for them, but I still will wait until they have them in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, next we got Roman Reigns and CM Punk face to face. We're going to talk about that one at the end of the show because that's what happens. It was at the end of the show. To begin the show, we had the Vision have something to say about Seth freaking Rollins. They're really annoyed of him, and Paul Heyman is pissed about him because he was supposed to be gone. And all that stuff, and ladies and gentlemen, remember, Seth Rollins cost Logan Paul the Elimination Chamber. So Austin Theory has something to say, and then Logan Paul has something to say, and then out of nowhere, there's a masked man comes out, and then he got chased away from the security guards because Adam Pearce was there, and he says, I want to talk to Seth Rollins as well, but I can't talk to him when you guys are here because you guys won't leave him alone. So security guards got rid of this masked man. Here comes the second masked man. Logan Paul chased that guy out. And then here comes the third one, and Austin Theory chased that one out. So Paul Heyman is all by himself, and then he was about to leave, but there was a masked man on the ramp. And then there's a masked man behind Paul Heyman, and it was Seth freaking Rollins whacking Paul Heyman with a steel chair and did a stomp onto Paul Heyman. And then Paul Heyman got put into an ambulance, and you saw Austin Theory and Logan Paul checking on him because they ran and trying to chase the other masked men. And then Logan Paul was going to get the car that they could follow the ambulance to the hospital, but Austin Theory was still in the ambulance and checking on Paul Heyman. And then when Austin Theory went to the car and saying, hurry up, Logan Paul, he opened the car door, Jimmy Uso was in the car and attacks Austin Theory because he thinks that he attacked Jey Uso. The Vision attacked the Uso. So he attacked Austin Theory. And then he walked up to the ambulance, and there was LA Knight as the driver of the ambulance, and he says that Paul Heyman will get the care that he needs, and he drove off. Oh man, a lot of things happened. And it was official, Jimmy Uso will be versing Austin Theory later on tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, first match of the evening, we got Gunther versus Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee did not want to wait, so he attacked Gunther during his entrance, but Gunther had a lot upper hand. But ladies and gentlemen, it was a pretty decent match. Dragon Lee was getting destroyed most of the times, but it looked like he was about to have a count-out win. I thought he was going to win and get him more mad. But no, ladies and gentlemen, Gunther did a sleeping hold, but while he was doing the sleeping hold, he rips off Dragon Lee's mask, and then he did the sleeping hold. Gunther wins the match, and he wouldn't let go of the sleeping hold for a while. We have the original El Grande Americano versus Rayo Americano. There was a lot of interesting stuff happening here. A lot of crazy stuff with all the Americanos interrupting, and of course the other one, the thinks he's original. A lot of Kaiser one. I'm getting confused here. Why am I getting confused? I don't know what's going on here. He won't start doing headbutts on him and all that stuff, but original El Grande always can kill. But the winner of that match, the original El Grande Americano. We have Jimmy Uso versus Austin Theory. It was an okay match. It was okay. It got cut short because Logan Paul got involved, making a disqualification. And then there's Austin Theory and Logan Paul double teaming Jimmy Uso. And then Jey Uso's music hits, and there's Jey Uso behind the Vision and slides a crutch to Jimmy Uso. And then both of them, Jey and Jimmy, start whacking the Vision with crutches. Jey Uso comes back, and it sounds like the Vision might be the one that attacked Jey Uso, because Jey Uso attacked the Vision because I guess he knows who attacked him. Well, next we got, ladies and gentlemen, we got Penta versus Dominic for the Intercontinental Championship. Remember what Finn says, you had to do this by yourself. And Dominic got cursed by Danhausen. Well, it was a pretty decent match, and there's the Judgment Day sitting on chairs watching the match. But at the end, you saw Dominic asking the Judgment Day, JD, and Finn Balor for the hammer. The Timekeeper's hammer. So JD went to get the hammer, and Finn Balor stopped JD giving the hammer to Dominic Mysterio. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Finn told him that Dominic says he wants to do this by himself. So we're going to let him do it by himself. Even Dominic doesn't understand what is Finn doing, and Penta attacks both JD and Finn Balor with a springboard. And then he did a Mexican Destroyer onto Dominic Mysterio. And your new Intercontinental Champion, Penta. Penta wins his first ever WWE Championship. I think that's great because I remember in AEW, he never won a singles championship. He always been a tag team champion or a trios champion. He's a singles champion. Let's see what he does with that championship. I think a lot of people are upset because some reason the fans love Dominic Mysterio. But Dominic has not done anything for that title. Ever since he won that title back from John Cena at Survivor Series, he hasn't done anything. And I thought he would lose the title or get stripped of the title when he got injured, but that never happened. So that title was a ghost while he was injured. So I'm happy that we get a new champion. And he doesn't even do anything for the Mega Championship, the AAA Mega title. Yeah, he's doing something now with Vikingo hair versus title match in the Rays D Rays pay-per-view that's happening in AAA. If you guys didn't know, they're having this weird tournament thing. Well, I think it's like a fatal four-way. I don't know. I don't know what this thing is. But Mr. Corey Graves kind of told us what this thing is about. And how it is. I'm going to try to get, if my phone really wants to work. I want to know how this thing works. I don't want to get you guys the wrong information here. So it's called Ray D. Rays. I'm just going to go to the match here. So it is a tournament. So I guess it's a fatal four-way match. It's a four-way for the D-Rays tournament final, determine the no contender for the AAA Mega Championship. But I heard that the winner of this, they will receive a sword, and that says that they're the number contender. So that was weird to hear that somebody gets a sword when they win, and that's how they become the number contender because they're holding a sword. So the people that's in this tournament is the La Paca, the original El Grande Americano, and the El Grande Americano, the other one. And they need one more. And what else we have here? We got Pentago and Psycho Clown would be defending their AAA tag team titles against War Raiders. Cool. And Lato Kid would be versing Dragon Lee, TJP, and Jack Cartwheel. 4-way match for the Cruiserweight title. Dominic Mysterio would be versing Vikingo with Omos and his manager. No disqualification match for the AAA Mega Championship. If Mysterio wins, Vikingo can't challenge for the title as long as Mysterio is champion. If Vikingo wins, Mysterio has to leave AAA. I thought it was hair. Oh, this is going to be a big match. When is this show? March 14th. I don't watch a lot of AAA because it's not in action. I have to hear Conan trying to translate while they're talking. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that part. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet. We got Roman Reigns versus CM Punk in a face-to-face promo. These guys talk trash about each other the whole time and trying to make it personal. Saying that Roman Reigns, we did not bring you to WWE to be champion. They want you to, we brought you to WWE to entertain the fans, make a sold-out crowd for Chicago and all that stuff. The easy parts, I guess. Not being world champion because this is too much for you, CM Punk. But CM Punk says, yeah, I'm tired. I have these bags under my eyes because I'm carrying you to WrestleMania. Because remember, Roman's not doing anything. He's not having matches. CM Punk is. To make it a personal match and make it bigger. And Roman's doing absolutely nothing for that. But CM Punk, Roman said a whole bunch of things at the end. And he was finished. CM Punk wasn't finished. Because Roman Reigns says he's going to retire CM Punk. Like John Cena. He's going to make CM Punk do his own tour. But CM Punk says he's going to retire me. That's not going to happen. He says, I don't want to just beat you at WrestleMania. I want to bury you. And he says, you're not going to be alone because I'm going to bury you next to your father. Jesus. The hell is happening here? Oh my goodness. I wasn't planning on doing that, putting that in my mouth. But ladies and gentlemen, that's what he said, and that's, oh my God. But if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And I will see you guys tomorrow for NXT results. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I believe he said everything on here. If there's more 2K26 thing here, I will tell you guys more about it when we get the announcements. But that's only today. Time is up. Bye!